For the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank everybody for coming out tonight. Can I get roll call? Here.
Mr. Daniel.
Here.
Ms. Smith.
Here.
Supervisor Williams.
Here. First on tonight's agenda is a public hearing on local law I-2 firefighters exemption law. Counselor?
Public notice is hereby given that there has been introduced before the town board of the town of Patterson, New York on April 26, 2023, amendment to Patterson Town Code Article 6, Chapter 142, entitled Tax Exemption for Qualified Members of Volunteer Fire Departments and Ambulance Corps. With which amendment will provide for a property tax reduction for eligible firefighters consistent with the 2022 amendments to real property tax law, section 466-A. Now therefore pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law, the town board of the town of Patterson, New York will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid amendment at the town offices 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on May 10th, 2023 at 7:00 p.m. in the evening of that day, or as soon thereafter as may be held, at which time all persons interested therein shall be heard. The town board will make every effort to assure that the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and or reasonable accommodations should contact the town clerk.
Thank you. This is a follow-up to a law that was put forth by the state or approved by the state that was championed by our own county executive, Kevin Byrne, to give volunteer fire department qualified members a tax reduction in their taxes. And our law pretty much follows the state requirements. We've made a couple of modifications which were allowed by the state to give a little bit more flexibility on people who could be qualified and also who can qualify for the lifetime exemption. I would ask that anybody that has any questions on this law, if you would approach the mic, give your name and address for the record and ask your questions or make your comments. Don't all jump up at once. All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Question. We need to offer that to the people on Zoom. If there's anyone joining us.
Yes, we should. All right, anybody? No, nobody's on.
Okay.
Nobody's on.
Well, you never know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Laura just came on.
Laura, do you have any question about the public hearing on the volunteer firefighters exemption? Nope, hearing none. Motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the reports?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the code compliance report for April of 2023, the code enforcement for March and April 2023, dog control officer for April 2023, the Patterson Fire Department for the first quarter of 23, and the Patterson Rec for March and April of 2023. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the supervisory report?
I'll make a motion that we approve the supervisor's report for March 2023. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And on the town board meeting minutes for March 22nd and April 12th, 2023. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to audit the bills?
Sure, I'll make a motion on abstract number 8 dated April 28th, 2023, in the amount of $258,349.18. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to do the budget transfers?
Sure. First budget transfer request number 3 for the following transfer is necessary to reallocate funds for the superintendent of highways equipment account for the purchase and installation of a new computer. So we're moving $2,362 from the contingent expense account to a 5010.200 superintendent highway equipment and capital outlay expense account. I'd like to make a motion to approve budget transfer number 3. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We also have a budget adjustment request number 4. The following budget adjustment is necessary to allocate to the New York State grant received for the EMS building project. I'm happy to say that we will be increasing H0902 fund balance designated capital projects fund balance account by $100,000 and increasing H4540.200 ambulance equipment and capital outlay by $100,000. I'll make a motion to approve 2023 budget adjustment request number 4. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Peter, you want to take Stonehill?
Sure, we have a memo here from the planning board. At their May 4th, 2023 meeting, the planning board recommended for the above reference project, the town board to accept the performance bond, the amount of $30,141 and inspection fees of $20,661.40 as recommended by the town engineer in his May 4th, 2023 review. And it's reference to the Stonehill development bond calculation and recommendation. So I have a resolution here. I'd like to enter the resolution into the record as read for the establishment of a performance bond for the Stonehill development site plan for 125 Commerce Drive. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it is regret that we are accepting a letter of resignation tonight for one of our court clerks, Shannon Ward. Shannon is a brilliant girl and she's going to be terribly missed, but she is moving on to greener pastures. So I'd like to make a motion. We accept Shannon Ward's letter of resignation. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have now to advertise, we've called for the list for the court clerks. I've reached out to some of the past applicants. I've yet to receive any response from anybody who had shown an interest in the past. So we are advertising. Spira, who works in the court, drew up this advertisement. And the only thing we're going to change on this that I see is that we're going to have the resumes coming into the town clerk as always. Agreed?
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll authorize the town clerk to advertise the position of court clerk. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Sean.
Okay, we have a request for a training for our assessor's office. This is for Miss Amanda Tompkins to attend a training up at Cornell University from July 16th through the 21st. The classes relate to the assessment of value and valuation of properties, reconciliation of final valuation. So the total amount for the training with travel and meals and hotel accommodations comes to $1,933.45. So I will move that we approve this conference request for Ms. Tompkins. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And next we have a training, conference request for Sue Brown, who chairs our safety committee, to attend a training. There's no cost for the training. This is just for mileage reimbursement to and from the training in the Village of Tarrytown Rec Center for a recreation, liability, and playground inspection. This is for overview of playgrounds, preventative maintenance and inspection techniques, and it's in May. So I'll make a motion. We approve $65.40 for travel reimbursement for Ms. Brown. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I am abstaining.
And
Got to get that down.
next we have the Putnam Lake Fire Department is requesting that we approve and add a new member to the Putnam Lake Fire Department. So this resolution is to approve Jacob Urkel. And that would be subject to meeting all qualifications to be an active volunteer fireman, including without limitation having passed all physical fitness tests required. So I will move to ask that this resolution be entered into the record as though read for Jacob Urkel to be a Putnam Lake Fire Department member. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jacob Urkel, for joining the Patterson family.
Absolutely. So a few minutes ago, we held a public hearing on what is now going to be local law number 4, which puts on in our code book, the firefighters exemption. And we have a resolution here. I would like to ask that the resolution be entered into the record as though read and move its adoption. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, on to the good projects. So, Mr. Renier, our town engineer, who's been working on the EMS facility, and myself attended Zoom meetings now in the past 10 days with both the DEP and the DEC on pre-applications for submitting applications to both agencies. They both went fairly well. With the DEP, they are not going to require us to get any permits for hooking our sewer pump. But they are going to ask us to submit a variance that was expected for the impervious coverage, which is going to be located within 100 feet of a wetland. It's a complicated process to get the variance, but they felt it was eminently doable and there was adequate justification. So we're starting to work on that paperwork to get that into them. Same good news with the DEC. They felt that there was adequate justification, and considering that it had been a previously disturbed site, they did not raise any big objections. The only concern they had was that it is in an area designated for bog turtles. But the good news is they're not going to make us do a bog turtle survey on this. What they are going to do, though, is be looking for the plan to have bog turtle mitigation incorporated into the plan. That is very simple stuff. We have to do some timing on the work that we're going to be doing out there, putting in the initial foundation, and we're going to have to put up a double row of silt fence instead of a single row of silt fence. So it's fairly minor. Yeah. So we're starting to work on both those applications so we can get this thing moving. One of the things we do need to do to get it out of the way, though, is we do need to do seeker on the new project, because now with the DEC and the DEP involved, they're looking for a second seeker determination. So I'd like to make a motion that the town board declare their intent to assume lead agency in the seeker review of the EMS building. So moved. Second. Do I have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else?
No, it's great. I think it's great that they are amenable to working with us on it, and
Yeah.
they obviously see the value that it is for our community, for our EMS agency. So fantastic home run.
Yep.
It's taking a long time.
Take a little bit longer.
Telling us about this a couple of years ago. We're waiting on see.
We got to get a plan finalized. Plan constantly evolves.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay. You're all good?
Yep.
Okay, requests. We have a memo here from Mr. Matt Chavarro regarding the need for first aid CPR training and the compensation request. As per the New York State Sanitary Code, we are required to have one person certified in CPR and first aid for every 200 campers. Matt is asking for no more than 4 employees to take the wilderness training, which payment would not exceed more than $400. And a CPR basic life support class is $40 per person. He's anticipating no more than 8 employees. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the maximum payment to Angel Care Safety not to exceed $720. So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Discussion. I just want, in full disclosure, I just want to add that Angel Care Safety Training is my company. So I've been training the staff before I was even on the town board for years. I don't make much, or I probably lose money on it, because by the time for my time and everything else, if you look at these prices, it's half or even a quarter of what you'd spend if we sourced it out. And so I just wanted to just to make that clear. So I've been doing this for many years and at a discounted price. And like I said, I even lose money on it. So just wanted to make that transparent for everybody. So, and I'll
Thank you.
recuse myself from the vote.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
We have an amended new program price for the wheelchair tennis program. There was a conflict in the schedule, so now instead of, there'll be 7 sessions instead of 8, and each participant will pay $85 instead of 100. So I'll make a motion to amend the new prices, as per Matt has requested. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a few hires here. So I'll make a motion to hire Olivia Gazo as a multi-activity camp leader this summer. Her rate of pay will be $16.50 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a pay rate increase. I don't know why I can't talk today. I think it's the new glasses. Pay rate increase of $17.50 per hour for Adriana Palermo. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And finally, requesting to hire Robert Thompson as a recreation assistant, junior staff for the Town of Patterson Recreation Department at the rate of $11 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I just thought that would be easier. And lastly, an announcement for a free music night at the Rec on Saturday, June 10th at 6 p.m. The Rec will be hosting a free concert featuring a few local high school bands. This sounds very interesting. I don't think
Yeah.
he's ever done this before.
It sounds really interesting.
The idea came about when 2 Carmel High School students who are practically grown up doing programs at the Rec Center. I'm gonna make sure I say his name right. John Joe Santalis and Jacob Falk reached out. Their band, the Sun Bears, all students at Carmel High School, recently performed at a music at Arts on the Lake night and thought how awesome it would be to put on a show for the local community at their former home away from home. A band from Stormville, Arlington High School students, and Ridgefield High School in Connecticut will also perform. Each group will play for approximately 25 to 30 minutes. The concession stand will be open for food and drink purchases. The event will be supervised by the Rec staff. So I think that sounds like something great. I'm sure that you can go on www.pattersonny.myrec.com if you didn't catch all that in the announcement for the time, June 10th, 6 p.m. Be there. Thank you. I think I'm all done.
Okay. Peter?
All right. I have a request here from town clerk to hire assistant, backup receptionist to back up the 2 current receptionists that are part-time and they're not always available. They might have vacations and she is requesting Mary Cronin, who has worked for the town before in the past, Jane. So we do have her application here. I think most of us know her from years ago. We did a great job back in the day. So I'd like to make a motion to hire Mary Jane Cronin as a backup receptionist at the rate of $15 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, other business. I have a couple of things. First, we received a request to have a block party from an individual out in Putnam Lake. They're looking to close the road down. We do not have a procedure for doing that. And I drew up a really quick list here from everybody, to take a look at, and we'll put it on for the next agenda to kind of further the discussion about what we're going to do as far as permitting a block party, if we're going to permit a block party. So you would all take a look at it before the next meeting, and we can talk about it next meeting.
Sure.
All right.
Actually, where I grew up, we used to do them all the time in Queens, they close off the street. So you probably remember those, right? They were pretty neat.
Did they actually have permission or they just did?
Oh, yes, no, you had to go to.
Because
No,
where
you
I
did.
lived, we did too, but there
Yeah.
was no.
No, you had to, you went to the local police department and you filled out a permit and it had to go through the process and, you had to get actually so many people on the road to sign, a percentage of the people on the road to sign an agreement with it because it was an inconvenience for those who weren't participating, but, and in the city, the blocks are a lot bigger, so, right?
Mhm.
Sure.
But I think
Sounds
even,
like fun.
I know it could probably be frustrating, because when I was a kid, we would just close the road off and you'd have a big block party, but. In this day and age, I think it's very important to have these things in place. You know, measures of traffic control.
yes.
And
Mhm.
making sure everyone's on board with it,
Mhm.
liability and everything else. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
What happens in an emergency?
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I commend them from going to the town. They could have just. Booked a
Right.
Saturday and blocked the road off and had a party, but they're doing their due diligence by coming
Yes.
to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Did
good.
she mention how many people are on that road? How many residents there are? I'm just curious.
Well, there's quite a few residents on the road, but they're only gonna block off a limited section.
Oh,
It's like six or seven
Yeah.
houses or, yeah.
um, I might
Yeah.
show up.
All right, second thing is, I'd like to thank Councilman D'Andriano. I got your additional vendors for potentially taking a look at the website. So I've got those. And I have talked with the town of Southeast about Civic Plus. It was a very interesting conversation. Their operation down in the town of Southeast is run by their secretary for the planning board. And she finds it very easy to make changes. She actually walked me through some of the changes she was doing on how she set up secondary pages, whenever she wanted, added pages in. It was absolutely no problem for her whatsoever. I was absolutely amazed at how well she was walking through it all. And she said it's very easy for the staff to do, and she shows them how to do it.
Yeah.
I said, what you do before you were the secretary for the planning board? Web design.
Wow, there you go.
There's why it's easy.
Yes. Is there, do you
But
have a calendar?
she assured me
Operational
that,
calendar?
excuse me, yeah,
They have a calendar?
yeah, they have calendars. She assured me that the staff doesn't really have a problem making changes, and, you know, if they have any problems, she's right there to help them out, and if not, the support with Civic Plus is pretty good.
Does she have any experience as a court clerk?
So,
And actually, I had said that I would contact the town of Kent and they actually have someone who comes in and works part-time for the town that does all of their IT support and web maintenance. So that's something that they've designated as a part. I think it's like, say, 20 hours a week, give or take. So.
They were at the clerks convention that I just went to.
Oh, yeah.
They were there.
Civic Plus?
So I was speaking to them. We exchanged. cards, so. But they're really good. A couple of the clerks like them. They're really easy and they respond. I mean. You know, everyone has their phone.
Excuse me, nobody can hear.
Oh,
What's being said?
Oh, I'm sorry.
can you say all that over again? The microphone?
Oh, no, I was just telling them that I went to the clerks convention and Civic Plus was there. And they were telling me about it.
and that is it for me. Anybody else, other business?
I just have a couple announcements. May 21st at the Patterson Rec Center from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're going to have a bicycle safety rodeo. So any kids can come down, kids between 5 and 12, I believe it is, can bring their bicycles down between 11 and 2 and go through the bicycle safety course. Everybody gets a free helmet and some bicycle safety information as well. And on June,
Before you
sure.
talk, who's what's the word? Coordinating, but hosting, what agency?
so it's the
Sponsor, that's the word I
It's
couldn't think of.
the Patterson Rec Center is running it,
Okay.
and New Vance Health, the community education division, which I work for, is helping them out with the bicycle rodeo stuff.
Yeah, that's a great event.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So we have a trailer we bring up, and we have one of those chalk liners to
Yeah.
chalk out a course and signs and cones and helmets. We get a grant to give out helmets and stuff. So it's great. It's a great
That's
time.
great. Thank you.
One suggestion,
Sure.
because I was just talking about the bike path earlier. If you can give a little primer on bike path etiquette, it would be
Yeah.
really helpful, like staying to the side, listening for people approaching and coming around. Because we see it with children all the time on the bike path, that a lot of times they're just winding around. It's very dangerous when there's bikers really moving quickly on those paths.
That's a really good point. And that might be a program we could probably develop, or even put a brochure together or something to hand out
Mhm.
with that, because that is true. I know when I'm riding and you hear someone coming up behind us, some people are really good and,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
ring a bell or say on your
On your
left or
left.
whatever, but some people just zoom by you or, you know,
Yeah.
kids are in the middle of going all over the place.
Maybe a sign at the entrances. You know, where they enter the path.
Yeah, problem is we don't really have an official entrance to Patterson.
Well, we do. It's
There
just
seems
not.
to be one on 164.
Yeah, it's not 164. Actually, somebody took the sign down there. This is no parking.
Oh,
Oh, they took,
Oh, yeah.
that didn't take long.
Yeah, so the county is moving forward. Hopefully, we're gonna be seeing construction start soon with the entrance on 311.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
so they're gonna have a big parking lot there, and that's gonna be the main entrance.
nice.
Another event that we are working with at the Patterson Fire Department on June 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's also the day of the
Relay for life.
Relay for Life. But we will be in the bays, the front bays of the firehouse, doing a child passenger safety check event, along with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, Carmel Police Department, Kent Police Department, and the New York State Police. And we'll be checking children's car seats from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So come down with your car seat and your child and check out your seat for you. That's all I have.
Okay.
So I just want to, well, I'll mention that Brewster Schools. As the supervisor of the transportation there, I donated / lending a 77 passenger vehicle that is, I don't know if you saw it parked at the firehouse. Probably wondering why we're parked there all the time. So the bus is actually doesn't pass DOT inspection anymore, but it was still operational. So at some point, they're going to put together a drill on you know, I guess extracting and, you know, jaws of life and everything they haven't done one in a long time on a school bus. So I'll keep you guys all apprised of the date because I'm sure that probably Pete will be involved and the county, the fire departments will all be there and to see.
This is the bus that's sitting over there right now with the car under the back.
I hope they didn't put a car under the
Yeah,
back
they
of it already. I told them to call me. But Joey was out of town for a while, so yeah. They're gonna put something together for all the fire departments.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Public recognition. Any member of the public joining us here tonight wish to make any comments or ask any questions, if you'd approach the mic?
Hi, I'm Denise Opromola from the Patterson Town Library Board. I'm here to let you in on a couple of our programs that we are doing. Currently, we're running a podcasting 101 program that actually my daughter and I are attending, and Adam is extremely knowledgeable and is really very helpful, demonstrating everything. It's an ongoing class that kind of builds upon itself, but anybody is still welcome to attend. And if you just call the library, he records the sessions so that you can catch up on the back sessions. That is Mondays at 6 p.m. Started on May 1st. It goes all the way to June 12th. And the next one is there is a vegetable gardening workshop on Thursday, May 18th at 1 p.m. They're going to have someone from the Cornell Cooperative Extension, Master Gardener Ed will come in and kind of let everybody know how to plant a bountiful vegetable garden and guide us through the planting process. And you can help plant the garden there at the Patterson Library. And third, which I found very interesting, is the history and future of Front Street on Thursday, June 15th at 7 p.m. Learn the history of Front Street from its rise following the arrival of the railroad station to its slow decline due to changing transportation and economic conditions. And the public is invited to join a discussion regarding the possible future of Front Street in Patterson. That's it.
That is
Any questions?
No, thank you.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
Right on the future of it.
Peter Mutner, you need my address too?
Please.
Address 241 Stagecoach Road, Patterson. I just wanted to thank, I'm also a member of a board member on the planning board. I wanted to thank this board for approving the Stonehill project bond. I appreciate that personally. I think it's a good example of us moving responsibly to, increase our commercial tax base in a responsible and thoughtful process and appropriate. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, I will ask anybody joining us by Zoom tonight, if you have any questions or comments you wish to offer up to the board, if you would unmute, give your name and address so we know who you are. Entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Boy, that's quick. I guess everybody wants to go home tonight. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.